Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Will back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about why DCAing is powerful, and if you don't know what DCAing is, I'm going to go into full detail on this. So I just want to show you guys my my equity portfolio real quick. I do have the shares crossed out and how much I've invested because it is a little personal. It is over 5 figures. That I'm invested right now currently. That's under 6 figures. It's just over 5 figures. Close to 6 figures. But the reason being is because, yes, day trading is a way to make money. But you should also know how important it is that just based on statistics, right? Day trading does not work for everybody. 95% of day traders fail. But you gain so much knowledge from day trading, you don't even realize what that knowledge you can use in an actual equity portfolio and building a portfolio. Eventually, these portfolios are going to be worth so much money, in 10, 20, 30 years from now, and you're going to thank yourself that you did do this. So it's definitely, if you are a day trader, you should learn equity. Because, why feed the money back into day trading market, which is more risky, obviously, when you could go into something like equity, which is less risky. Let's say you're getting payouts. Why not take 20, 30% of that payout and put it into some equity and build your portfolio for the long term? There's 2 times you can be rich, right? When you're young or when you retire. So if most people don't make it young, that's just a statistic, but everybody has a chance to be wealthy when they retire. Every single person has a chance to be wealthy when you retire. The information is out there. You just have to search. And these videos will also help you learn and educate yourself, how to retire very wealthy. So if you're not already in the Discord, you should join it. I do give free equity plays out. So here, Google, obviously, NVIDIA. This is my Tesla right here, my Tesla equity. So far 51% in about a couple months, so that's pretty good. So yeah, we've been DCing into Google. We shut it off, so we're already up 5% into Google. Now we're getting into Boeing. I'm going light on Boeing. I'm not sure if it's going to go lower. And Google's obviously contesting all-time highs. And right now, as of today, this was a little bit ago, but today it's 4.66%. Guys, if you're just beating 2 to 3% a year, you're already beating inflation. You're already winning. But your goal is to beat more than 12%. If you could beat the S&P 500 every single year, you're just going to make that much more money. DCAing and why it's important to actually DCA. So if you don't know what DCAing is, right, it stands for dollar cost averaging. So dollar cost averaging. Now, what does dollar cost averaging mean? Now, all it means in very simple terms is that you're just buying the stock every single day, once a week, once a month. In our case here, for an equity portfolio, you want to be dollar cost averaging every day. For something like a retirement plan, that could be like once a month or even, once a week. But strictly equity portfolios, you want to be dollar costing every day. You don't want to be doing once a week. You don't want to be doing once a month, because 1 month from now, for example, if we're just using Boeing, 1 month from now, it could be up at 188, and you could have been buying every single day at 154. So you want to be dollar cost averaging every single day. Now, the question I get the most is when do I start dollar cost averaging? Well, first things first is, let's just use NVIDIA for example. We're going to use NVIDIA for example. You don't start dollar cost averaging up here. Okay, that's one thing you do not do. You wait for a proper pullback. When people are scared, when there's a lot of selling going on with the stock. So, for example, this 140 area, this was, I think it split at 120. I'm pretty sure it split at $1,300 or $1,200. So it peaked at 140. This was after split. And what does normally happen after split? Well, there's a lot of FOMO. People see that stock is very cheap because it was $1,300 a share. Now people are buying it at $130 a share. So a lot of people are buying it, which drives the price up. And then they dump it on you. This is very normal when stock splits do happen, which is why we wait for a pullback when stock splits do happen. You have to be very patient. Okay, it might take days, it might take weeks, it might take months. But eventually the stock will pull back, and that's when you should start entering. So, for example, we see a slight pullback here to the 116 area. That's still not enough for me to get it. That's still not enough for me to get into here, because there is a big, right? You have risk still involved with this. So it only pulled back around 16%. 16% is still a lot, but for the way it's been moving, we want more of a pullback. So my target was under $100, which is about a 25% pullback, or 30% pullback, which we hit. So what did I do? I started dollar cost averaging into it. Now, I didn't expect NVIDIA to be under $100 for long, so I went pretty heavy. I was doing about $200 to $300 a day. Once it hit the under $100 mark, so I probably got around $400 right here. We came back down to this 100 area again in the 105-ish, and I did buy a couple days more worth, so I'm probably all in about $1,200 in NVIDIA right now. If we do see a pullback to the 90 to 100, and guess what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to turn it back on. Now, how do you know when to stop dollar cost averaging? This is kind of tricky, because when I first started doing this, it was very difficult to learn when to shut it off. But my rule of thumb is if the stocks pump more than 3 to 4% of what you put it in as, I usually cut it off. So, for example, let's just say, or let's just take Boeing for example, because I'm actually dollar cost averaging into Boeing right now. So right now I am in Boeing. Give me 1 second. Let me just take a look and see what my average cost is. Okay, so my average cost is 153.60. So 153.60 is my average cost, which is a great average cost for Boeing. It's the only company, this company is the only one in this sector that is going to be here forever, and it dominates this sector. So there's just a lot of bad news around it. And guys, bad news is always good buying opportunities as well too. You also have to think about that too. So my average cost is 153.60. If we pump, anywhere from 3 to 4%, I'll shut it off. I will shut this off and I will just let it run. That's my rule of thumb. So I've been in Boeing like this whole dip right here. I've been in Boeing this whole time right here. So I've probably been from right here to this sell-off, and I've just been dollar cost averaging every single day. Now I am going light in Boeing. I was going $5 a day, but now I upped it to $10 a day, because I'm almost positive this is very close to the bottom. If not, the next bottom would be the 121, which would be a 20% loss. But, I'm just going to dollar cost my way down here if it does get this low. But the problem is, right, is you don't want to put so much money into dollar cost averaging. For example, I have enough capital to be doing $100 a day for, weeks straight. Some people don't have that capital. So it's okay if you go light, because the whole purpose of this is trying to beat inflation. And you want to beat the S&P 500 at the same time. So your target is to be around 12, 13, 14, and anything above that percentage-wise. But this doesn't mean you have to go all in, right? And it doesn't mean you have to diversify as much too. I would recommend you stay, in 3 big sectors here. I would stay in the tech sector. I would stay in the the communication services sector, and then I would stay in the let me think. What the fuck? Why am I getting a brain? Why is my brain dying right now? Give me a second. Tech, communication services, and then I would stay in your financials. These are kind of the three that I do target. Obviously, they do rotate out, as which is doing best. But over the past couple years, tech has been dominating. So why would you try and go against the trend? You want to follow the trend. Eventually, we'll switch out of a tech-based performance, and we'll switch into something else. Then you just sell it. You sell and you move on, or you could hold it if you want to. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of capital, right? But just think about this, right? You spend, if you buy coffee every day, you could cut that out. That's $5 a day right there. Let's just say you smoke cigarettes. Stop smoking. Smoke vapes. Stop vaping. Dip. Stop dipping. All these bad habits, right? If you just sacrifice it for a couple years, and then just don't do it again, obviously, because it's not good for you, you can really, really build up some capital by doing this. So I'll tell you a story. I was in the military, obviously not making a lot of money, and that's what actually drove me into the stock market, because I was trying to make some extra income, and I started learning about everything. So what did I do? Well, I used to get coffee every day in the military. I stopped getting coffee. I stopped eating out. I sacrificed so much shit during the time of the military, like eating out and all this stuff like that, so I could build up my capital and learn how to make my money work for me. And I come to a point now, yes, I can go and enjoy nice things. I can go and get my coffee every day. But I did sacrifice, 4 to 5 years, giving up coffee, not smoking. So I don't smoke anymore, but now I pop the Zins, and I drink coffee. But those are my two things that I do. And obviously, coffee is something I need. It's something I need that's not going to stop. But the Zins I probably should stop. But the whole purpose of... I don't know why this keeps happening, but the whole purpose of this is... Okay. I don't know why this keeps happening with TradingView. It's very annoying. But the whole purpose of this is sacrifice a couple years, build up your capital, learn how to make your money work for you. Like, it's pretty simple. Like, you work a 9 to 5, right? You take some extra money, you save some money, you cut out some expenses, and you put it into the stock market, and you learn how to make your money work for you. It's not hard. I don't think I'm that smart. In high school, my GPA was a 1.8. I'm not that smart, but I know how to make my money work for me. That's the most important part, and that's something they'll never teach you in school, is how to make your money work for you, and this is how you do it. By investing, beating inflation, beating the S&P 500, and just this DCAing is one of the, if not the best way to start investing early and really getting a feel for the market. So yeah, that's kind of the whole thing about DCAing. If you do have any questions, you could hit me up and ask me. I'm an open book. I love doing this. I love teaching about the stock market. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm a fucking geek at it. If I had a GPA in the stock market, it'd probably be over like a 3.6, I'd assume. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're probably going to be going over what Jerome Powell's going to be speaking on. He's probably going to be talking about like all the new data we're getting and seeing how rate cuts actually affected the market. Obviously, the rate cuts have affected the market in a very bullish way. I believe this was when rate cuts happened. So very, very bullish on the market. NQ is looking to pop all-time highs pretty soon. And ES is at all-time highs. Yeah, right there, all at all-time highs. About to be. So everything looks healthy with the market. Economy looks good. And actually, you know what? Tomorrow we're going to talk about Hong Kong. Their index actually collapsed 8%. So we're going to actually get into tomorrow. We're going to talk about global inflation and global recession. So that's going to be a really cool subject to talk about. If you don't know, if one of the big countries are experiencing inflation, one way for another country, it's kind of weird how this actually works. It's kind of cool too. So one way another country could experience inflation, let's just say China's experiencing heavy inflation right now. When they are exporting and when they are importing from a different country, that country will start getting the inflation from China because of the currency exchange, because of FX. If you don't know what foreign exchanges, it's just the switch between currencies. So USD and, let's just say USD and JPY, which is Japan. Let's say Japan's experiencing very high inflation and they're importing and exporting a lot of stuff to the US. What will happen is during this exchange rate, the inflation is going to actually carry over into the U.S. economy, and the U.S. economy is going to have to figure out a way to counter that, which is another way of rate cutting, or maybe even slowing down imports and exports from that specific country so we don't experience the same inflation they do. So it's actually pretty cool. So we're going to actually dive into that tomorrow. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Later.